it's not cracked, that's what you're doing on the end cap. You're looking for a cracked mirror. On the outside here, you want to make sure that it's securely mounted to the tractor, it's not sagging, okay? So condition of the glass inside, whether or not this is hanging off the truck outside, okay?
You're doing B, not in cap.
Right, doing B. Ready? Ready? All right, form B. I'm going to inspect my mirror here. I want to make sure that it's secured to the frame of the tractor. It's not sagging. And my door here, same thing. I want to make sure that it's not sagging. The door hinges are in place. The weather stripping is in place here, and it latches firmly. My steps here, I want to make sure they're securely mounted, they're not cracked, and there's no foreign debris on the stairs. My fuel tank here, I want to make sure the cap is on tight, it's not leaking. The fuel straps are in place, and they have this rubber backing, so there's no metal to metal contact. And I just want to make sure I don't see any leaks underneath here either. Moving back here, make sure I got my reflective tape on top here. It's on the tractor, it's clean, it's clear. Right here, my frame, I want to make sure that it's not cracked. There's no illegal welds and no illegal drill holes. Here's my catwalk, making sure that it's secured to the frame. It's not cracked and there's no debris on my catwalk. Here is my drive shaft. I want to make sure it's secured, it's not cracked, and it's not twisted or bent. And on both ends of my drive shaft I have U-joints. I want to make sure that they're secured, they're not cracked and they're not loose. Down inside here I have my exhaust. I want to make sure that it's secured, it's not cracked or leaking any soot, and it's also not loose. From there, let's go to our brakes. So I have my air lines going to my brake chamber. There's no abrasions, bumps, or cuts in the air lines. They're not leaking. The brake chamber is secured. It's not cracked, dented, or rusted through. It is not leaking. Here's my slack adjuster, and my push rod is below it. They're both secured. They're not cracked, loose, and there's no more than 1 inch of play on the slack adjuster. Inside here, my brake drum, it's not cracked, it's not out of round, and my brake shoes inside here, they're not cracked, they're not worn dangerously thin, and there's no contamination like axle seal grease. Okay, I'll do my suspension. Here is my spring mount. It is secured to the frame of the tractor. It's not loose. The bolts are fastened tight. It's also not cracked. Here is my leaf spring, secured. It's not cracked, no illegal welds, and there's 2 there. So I want to make sure that they're not scissored, they're stacked on top of each other. Here's my U-bolts, 1, 2. They are secured, they're not cracked, they're not bent, and they are fastened tight. This leaf spring here travels all the way down here, and it is the spring air mount for my airbag. So my airbag is secured top and bottom. There's no abrasions, bumps, or cuts in my airbag, and it is not leaking. This right here, this is my torque bar, or else you could call it a dog bone. It's not cracked, it's not bent, it's not loose. Okay? Now I'm going to go to my duals. This space right here is my bud space. I want to make sure that my wheel hubs are butted up to each other. There's no gaps and there's no debris in here. Outside here, this is my axle seal. I want to make sure it's tight, it's not leaking. My wheel is secured, it's not cracked, there's no illegal welds, it's fastened tight. All my lug nuts are in place and fastened tight. There's no rust trails or elongated holes indicating that they are loose. And then my tire, I would check at the valve stem with a tire pressure gauge, making sure it's built to manufacturer spec. There's no abrasions, bumps, chunks missing in my sidewalls. I have even tread depth, no less than 2/32 to tread depth. And then I'll move back here. My splash guard is secured to the tractor. It's not dragging on the ground. My DOT reflective tape is clean and visible. And then I have my tail lights right here. They are the proper color of red. They are not cracked, and they have 4 functions as tail lights, brake lights, left signal, right signal, and 4-way flashers. That's it for me.